He's walking through the palace one day, and he was feeling his oats. He was saying, oh, look what I did. Look what my hands built. He was saying, oh, Nebi, you've done it again. Oh, Nebi, you're just so great. And on this occasion, God got tired of him boasting. God got tired of him bragging. And what happened, the Bible said, the next thing you know, while the words were still in his mouth, Nebuchadnezzar was forced to eat grass like a wild animal. You see, I don't care who we are now. You know, men like to get puffed up sometimes. But don't you know God has a way of getting your attention? That's right. God has a way of humbling us. God will always have the last word. That's why James said, for you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will do this or that. Let me go back now. James has overheard these men talking. These men are planning this big fishing expedition. So James goes to them. He said, now go to now. Now, we don't talk like that today, do we? You wouldn't walk up to a bunch of young fellows and say, go to now, would you? You might get beat up, wouldn't you? You know, they'll tell you to go somewhere, you know. But in other words, if I can put this in today's vernacular, James, after he heard these fellas talking, James said, yo fellas, let me holler at you. You see, James heard these fellas talking about this fishing expedition. You see, the problem was now, the only goal in life for them was to go on this fishing expedition. Nothing else meant anything to them. In other words, if you were to ask people what does life mean to you, you get a lot of strange answers. I saw this commercial on television one day. It kind of blew my mind. These fellas were sitting around a campfire cooking fish. This fella popped open a beer. He said, oh, this is what life is all about. I said, now hold on a second, hold on. You're sitting around a campfire with a bunch of smelly men, cooking some smelly fish, drinking some smelly beer, and when you get rid of that beer, when you go into the woods, you're going to have smelly woods. And this fellow saying, this is what life is all about. And James was trying to let these fellows know life is more than just a fishing expedition. You see, Jesus said, now, I came that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. You see, a lot of folks are spending their time preparing for the here and now, yet they are neglecting the hereafter. You see, when this life is over, the next life is just beginning. Oh, I hear Jesus saying now, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon this earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, where thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust doth not corrupt, where thieves can't break in to steal. James was saying now, you all made all these plans. But James said, look, first of all, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I heard this about the Titanic. One of the crewmen made a very dumb statement before the Titanic sailed that day. He said, you know, not even God himself could sink the Titanic. Well now, maybe God didn't sink the Titanic, but God knew what was going to sink the Titanic. God knew that the Titanic wasn't going to make it back to one piece. You see what I'm saying? God is always going to have the last word. That's why James said now, for ye ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will do this or that. You see, every morning before I go to work, I try to make sure that I got it right with my wife and my children. Because there are no guarantees that I'm going to make it back home safely. I might go out and work and get bit by a dog or whatever. There are no guarantees. That's why James is saying, when you make your plans, you ought to say, if the Lord is willing, we'll do this or that. He told these men, he said, now, you don't know what shall be on the morrow. Many people plan their future by the stars, the horoscope. Let me ask you this question. As I heard somebody say, let me ask you this question. Why should I consult the stars when I can consult the one who made the stars? Y'all help me out this morning now. Why am I going to look at the horoscope? Why am I going to look at the stars and I can talk to the very God who made the stars? I don't mean digress a little bit, but it always tickles me when these scientists, when they have nothing to do, they look it up in their little telescopes, and they'll see a star out there in space, and they'll say, well, I think we'll name this star such and such. Well, how in the world are they going to rename a star? And the Bible said God knows every star by name.
That's right.
That's like somebody taking one of my children and renaming them. Oh, I'll take your son and name him Buster. No, you ain't. That's my son, you know. But why should I consult the stars and I can go to the very God who made the stars?
That's right.
See, the Bible reminds us, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. The Bible says to trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. You see, no, I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. You see, I don't know what lies ahead of me, but I know when I get there, the Lord is already there waiting for me. You see, the Lord has already been to where I'm going. You see, the Bible said that he's Alpha and Omega. Oh, I hear the psalmist David saying, yet though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, he said, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. He said, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. He said, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. He said, thou anointest my head with oil. He said, my cup runneth over. He said, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. No, I don't know what the future holds. I'm not going to consult the stars about the future, but God knows what the future holds. Songwriter said many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. You see, God is in the future waiting for me. He's just saying, son, you just come on. You just trust me. No, you don't know what's going to happen, but you just trust me. James is saying now, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Why are you making all these plans? James said, you ought to say it the Lord wills. And then James said, for what is your life? He said, it is even as a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then it vanishes away. What James is saying is this. He said life is short. Aunt Rosalie is 95 years old. But do you know, compared to eternity, that's a short time.
That's right.
Methuselah was 900 years old. But compared to the time we're going to spend in eternity, that's only a short time. You ask someone who has lost a loved one, I don't care how old they will tell you they were only here a short time. And James is saying your life is like a vapor. He said you appear just for a little time, and then it vanishes away. Well, it makes sense to me if I know that my life is like a vapor. Since I know that one day God is going to call me home. I don't know when, but I know one day he will now. It would behoove me to make sure that I am in tune with the Lord now. You see, I don't know when God's going to call me. It was very touching obituary service Friday night at dinner. And we heard the names that were read that night. You heard those names, but next time it could be one of your names.
That's right.
You see, I don't know when God is going to call me home. But I want you to know I want to be ready when he does call me home. Oh, we were talking about Bishop Talbot Handy the other night. Oh, you know what? He's cast in his heavenly treasures now. He's up there with the Lord having a good time now. And one day, when the Lord calls me home, I'm going there with him. No, I never met Stephen Pleasant. But when the Lord calls me home, I'm going to see Stephen Pleasant. And guess what? I'm going to know him, and he's going to know me. I'm going to see him. I'm going to say, what's up, Grandpa? He's going to see me. He's going to say, what's up, son? James said, look, your life is like a vapor. You don't know how long you have here. You don't know when the Lord's going to call you home. But it behooves us. You see, these men were spending a lot of time worrying about the here and now. But we need to spend some time worrying about the hereafter. But the Bible reminds us that it's appointed unto man once to die. And after death comes the judgment. Oh, I don't know if you all will see me again. But if y'all don't see me again, I want you to know I'm going to be up there with my other family. See, I got an earthly family down here. But I also got another family waiting for me.
That's right. Oh,
You
yes.
see, the Bible reminds us, make your calling and election sure. You see, because I have committed my heart and life to Lord Jesus Christ, I can say, he'll say to me, as he said to the thief on the cross, today, you're going to be with me in paradise. James asked the question, what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time. James said, look, fellas, don't make all these plans without consulting the Lord. You see, the problem is not making plans. A fool doesn't make plans. A fool would just dive out without seeking out the issue. He says nothing wrong with making plans, but the problem is when I take God out of my plans. Can I say one more thing? You know, many people spend their money giving to the psychic friends to find out about the future. You know what? If things go bad for me, I might get an 800 number and become a psychic friend, you know? It always bothers my mind that every washed-up actor and actress, black actor and actress, becomes a psychic friend. They don't know what tomorrow holds.
That's right.
I mean, you send me the money, I'll tell you anything you want to hear. Will I be rich? Yes, you will. Will I find romance? Yes, you will. Anything you want to hear. You see, I don't know what tomorrow holds. This is a funny story. Policemen have raided this phony fortune-telling operation. And they were specialized in palm reading, and they used tarot cards. And the policeman raided them. He said, wait a minute now. Y'all know the future, right? He said, yeah. You all are legitimate, right? He said, yeah. Well, how come y'all didn't know we were coming?
Amen.
What am I saying? Only one person knows the future, and that's the Lord. And it would make sense to me now. This is just me talking. I can't speak for nobody else. Since God knows the future,
Yes, sir.
since I don't know the future, it would make sense for me to hook up with someone who does know the future.
That's right.
You see, I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that the Lord is going to be there with me. And even as the apostle said, our lives are vapors. They appear for a little time. See, you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. But if I am gone, I want to make sure that I'll be resting at home with the Lord. James said, now, whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. We're going to ask you to stand this morning.